15 minutes, let the change begin. Busy life, big dreams, so much noise in your ears. We cut straight through, make the next step clear. Thought for Thursday, real talk, real tools right now. In 15 we move the dial, simple steps, strong moves, you'll see how. Thought for Thursday, clarity that sticks, you'll feel it from insight to action. Impact that stays. Thought for Thursday, let's change a day.
Hello, welcome to Thought for Thursday. For some of you, if you're like me, this cold, frozen kind of Thursday, I'm so happy to be here with you. And we're talking about a topic that I want to hop right into so that we won't go over our 15 minutes. How is that? As you know, Thought for Thursday is a part of Leveling Up the podcast. The podcast, this is the section of it that we bring to you on Thursday nights where we focus in on a pain point. And by the time we finish this, you will be on the other side of that because we're going to give you 5 tools that you're going to be able to use as soon as you leave here that are going to address that pain point. As usual, we frequently talk about reinvention. And if you hear me end any of my podcasts or any of my messages that I bring to you, I always say, or I talk about the importance of living authentically, being authentically yourself, knowing that you are the best version of you that is out there and nobody else is better at that. Well, I want to talk to you tonight about authenticity, and specifically, I want to talk about what it means to be authentic, what it means to be authentic in your place of employment. So, most of us, we don't stop being ourselves overnight. We kind of slowly adjust, we kind of tone down, or we toughen up depending on how we are, or sometimes we just stay quiet until one day we realize that we don't recognize who we've become. So that's why I want to talk about that tonight. Not as a buzzword, all right? I want to talk about authenticity really as alignment. It's not when you are on the inside, or it's not when who you are on the inside matches how you're allowed to show up on the outside. That is what authenticity is. When you're not being your authentic self, it is the inside not really showing on the outside. So what happens when you get in that predicament? Well, exhaustion. So many of us just feel like we don't have enough energy to make it from day to day. We feel that we're exhausted. And like I said in the teaser for this tonight, frequently when we're exhausted, when coming home from work, it's not always because of the work, but it's from being someone else for too long. And sometimes that can be just a day. But let me tell you, when you are going somewhere and you're reporting and over and over again, 8 hours after 8 hours after another 8 hours, you look back at yourself and you realize, I'm not being totally me. And somewhere along the line, the realization hits, I am exhausted, and it may not be because of this work, but it may be because I am not allowed, or I am not feeling as though I'm being totally who I am when I show up every day. So I know that many of us have heard of DISC assessments, and it is something that I do frequently with my clients, particularly those who are looking for career changes or looking for how it is that they can redefine career for them and have it match closer to what they really want to do, what they feel they may be designed to do. Something that the DISC assessment also does, number one, it's not a tool that really kind of judges you. It kind of simply reveals where you may be over adapting, That is one section that the DISC assessment will look at. So before we go any further, I want to slow down for just a second because this is where I want to help you to have some personal ownership of some things. I want you to reflect for just a minute or write your answers down to this. Where is it that you feel most like yourself? Where is it? Is it home? Is it at work? Secondly, where do you feel like you're kind of performing? And third, what part of you do you kind of mute at your place of employment? That tension that you're noticing is a signal, it's not a flaw. So I don't want you to feel as though if you're answering yes to any of these and I'm not totally being who I really want to be over here or at the job, I don't want you to judge yourself. I don't want you to feel as though you're not able to do what it is you really want to do because you're not being totally who you are, where you are. Now, I stress authenticity because you have to get to that point to really thrive. But realize that I'm not doing this to point out a flaw, but I'm really pointing out a signal to you. And that signal is that things need to change. A personal shift needs to happen. A practical shift needs to happen towards authenticity. So pay attention to how you communicate, for example, when you feel safe and confident, and some questions you may want to ask yourself when we're focusing in and trying to do this gentle but practical shift. Some questions you may want to ask yourself are things like, do I lead with logic or with relationships? Do I move fast or I need time to process things? Why? Because that awareness is the foundation for helping you to understand. And it is the foundation for authenticity. So let's, first of all, I want to give you some tools that are going to help you in doing this practical shift. I need to start there and help you to understand that. So let's go ahead and pull up some of my little breadcrumbs, as I like to call them, the breadcrumbs that I give you as we're talking about this. So how is it if you're realizing that you may not be showing up as who you truly are, where you spend much of your day, which is at work or doing your work? How is it that you can bring about a change there and start to do a shift, a practical shift? Well, one thing that you want to do is you want to be sure that you look and that you're able to name your natural style. So what do I mean by being able to name your natural style? Well, it's the very thing that I just talked about. I just gave that a label for you. So look at how you're responding to your relationships. Are you leading, do you lead with logic or do you respond differently? Do you respond or are you leading with your relationships? Are you moving fast or are you slowing down and actually taking the time to understand what it is you're doing or who it is that you are showing up as in this instance? What's another tool? Identify your mask. Yeah, identify your mask. Because what's happening, we've already said that you're not showing up authentically as you. Well, notice the version of yourself that you're putting on for work and ask, am I louder, quieter, harder, softer than I naturally am? Or who taught me that this was required? Remember, is information that's going to help you to grow. And we're not moving to judge. So keep that in mind as we go through these. A third tool, track the cost of your adaptation. You're exhausted. What is adapting costing you? Every adaptation has a cost. So ask this question: is this costing me energy? We've already said that, right? Is it affecting my confidence or joy? If it's draining you, guess what? It deserves your attention. And that's why we're talking about it. We're talking about the fact that we need to make this gentle but practical shift. What's another tool? Well, choose one safe place to be more you. We've already said that this place that you're going to every day, day in and day out, you're really not being you. So choose a place that you can be more of you. Authenticity really doesn't require a full reveal all the time. So decide one meeting, one conversation, one boundary. Whatever it is, it's the small shifts that are going to help you to create that big relief. And it's the small shift that is going to lead you and push you further and further to understanding that it's okay to be you in whatever environment that you're in. So, do you have to adapt sometimes in order to work in the culture, in order to move in the culture? Sometimes, yeah, that is necessary. But these gentle shifts and these small shifts that you're making are definitely the way in which you can do that and still remain you and go home feeling as though you have shown up as you the entire day. So, what's our fifth tool? The fifth thing is make sure that you practice alignment and not perfection. Remember, perfection is the biggest stealer of joy. Perfection is the biggest stealer of success. Because in that pursuit of perfection, well, guess what? We never get there. So you don't need to get it right. All right. We've already identified where the change needs to take place, where the improvement needs to be. You don't have to get it right, but you need to get it honest. You need to get it honest. So ask, does this choice honor who I am? Think about that when you're making choices during the day, when you decide how it is that you're going to respond, when you decide, well, how am I showing up and who am I? Am I honoring who I am? And the second thing you want to say is, am I abandoning myself to be accepted? Now, I realize, we've gotten to the fifth one here. These aren't easy things to work through. Again, don't put yourself in a place of judging. Put yourself in a place of growth. Understand that you're taking practical steps to improve and to be more of you and to live more energetically, to live more authentically, and to thrive in that spot because you are allowing yourself to be total you, no matter where you are. Alignment, remember, is a daily decision. It's a daily decision. For some of us, it may be hourly. The point is, the more you do it, the more you practice it, the better you become, and the closer you get to being aligned. So I've given you 5 tools to work with. All right. So I want you to leave here grounded. You didn't adapt, okay, because you were fake. These are some things I want you to think about. I don't want you to leave here feeling like I'm not who I say I am, or I'm not showing up. I'm not being the real me. And and that negates what I do and who I am. No, let's reframe that thought right now. You didn't adapt because you were fake. You adapted because you were capable. Then think, but adaptation was never meant to replace my identity. All right. So remember that. It's difficult. I know there are in certain places you have to adapt to culture, you have to adapt to the different ways that people do things. And somewhere in there, it's real easy to kind of lose yourself. And if you go further and further into a certain space or along a certain way, sometimes you get so lost down in a rabbit hole, so to speak. Before you know it, you have totally changed. Things look totally different. And in no way are you feeling like yourself. And you're feeling like day in and day out, you need to go in and act a certain way and kind of be a certain person that you're truly not. Take these small shifts towards aligning so that you can go home at the end of the day and feel energized and feel as though I've shown up as myself. I am more than capable of being who I am, doing my work, interacting with others, and making the progress and being successful and making the change that I really want to make. All right. So that's it. Live authentically as yourself. I say it all the time. It's the authentic life, the life that is driven by purpose, the life that truly operates in the capacity in which it was designed to be. It's that life that thrives. Go after that. Go be who you are, knowing that you are the absolute best representation of you that there is. Go out and make a difference with your thumbprint, which is unique. Change things for you, change things for those around you. And until we get back together, in all that you do, strive to be well.